Hello, welcome to the Corner Bird Studio stream. Corner Bird stream, whatever. We're doing something very different today. I'm fixing his face, Messmer's face. I already did like most of the fixes off screen because if you don't know, I'm just really what is it? I'm very insecure with showing my face sculpt process because I guess like with the face, every tiny thing really makes a huge difference on like how a face looks. And like I feel like I don't really do it that well because or like I don't really have a consistent system on how to sculpt faces. Oh. And yeah, it's like it's with face sculpts, it's extremely easy to not make it nice. Let's just say that. But I want to get better at face sculpting one day, or like not really about getting better, but being more consistent because I feel like with both drawing and sculpting, for me personally, having a pretty face to work on or handsome face like really makes a difference in like whether or not I'm motivated to work on the sculpt or work on my drawing. I feel like everyone's the same. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I've been working on it in the past 1 hour or so. Let me check. Yeah, but I guess like now that it has reached a certain point and he doesn't look atrocious anymore, I'm more comfortable streaming this. But yeah, nothing much to do, I guess. And because this is just for, where is it? Let me bring this out. Is there anything else to bring out? I'm not sure whether I want the color to be like that. Maybe I should make him. Maybe he should just be like whiter still. Or else it's like too much work. I just noticed this really bad mesh. Let me fix this like really fast. Yep, that's a lot better. And I'll say that I kind of I grew up so I kind of like grew up drawing dudes, like pretty dudes, because in an all girls school I think most of us will be like fangirling over bishonens in like shoujo mangas. So I used to draw a lot of dudes, like pretty dudes, and I really like doing that. Then after that I eventually went to eventually I just started drawing lots of anime girls and then just did a lot of girls after that. Never really went back to dudes because it, like, I don't know, I just didn't know how. I didn't really know how, or like I just feel like it didn't suit whatever I was drawing at that time. But like doing the sculpt, I feel like as we ignited the the sensation of like, oh my god, it's like such a handsome dude. Can you stop? So hopefully this is just a short stream and I will start recording for the tutorial on scale armor after this. Yeah, nothing much. So like that's the tip of painting with, where is it? Under filter, if you have the keep sharp edges at a pretty low degree, can show it to you with like a bright color. Oops, and I don't want dynamic topology. You can see like it can paint on like different faces of the mesh, and I think it can be pretty helpful for like, I need to smooth this out. It can be pretty useful for painting more stylized. Well, this is not really that stylized, but is it stylized? But it can help a lot for like painting in different faces, and then I can smudge it out a little bit like that. So that's basically how I did the paint for his face, especially this part. I'm not sure whether I want to just make it like brighter just to match everything else, so that I don't need to paint every single thing. And I don't want this to be too green. So and I don't want to smudge out too much of the details. I'm not sure whether I want, let's look at the reference. I guess it's pretty dark in this pocket. I'm like painting really lightly. I think 15 is still too much. 20, maybe 22 is fine. I mean, this is not like the best sculpt ever. But the main point is that it's one of my best face sculpt ever. I try not to compare too much to professional sculptors because I feel like if I do that, I'll just never ever do anything, because I'll be feeling like existential dread, like, oh my god, I can't do it like them. But I'm pretty happy with, wait, why is it not working as I want? Oh. Oh wait, what am I doing? I forgot to unmask this. So usually how I've been trying to do eyelashes right now, and that'll be the tip of the day for the live stream, is I can also show you like what I did for this. So initially there was this sculpt like this, and then I duplicated it just in case something goes wrong, and then cell mask. With the cell mask, which is like a lasso tool mask like this, did this and then closed the eye, because that's how the eyelid functions when you close. You're not closing the lower lid upwards, you're only bringing it down like that, and then you just need to fix the kind of like the curvature of the side view like this, because it's going over an eyeball. Like it's not like a window frame shutting down straight on. So that's how I did this part. Then for the eyelashes, I've already done it on that part where I extracted a little bit. I will do it for this one too. So first I will get more topology, and then I'll do this like this, where I'll mask like the edge of the eyelid, and it doesn't have to be perfect or anything, because I just want like a bit of a mesh to extract like this. So under extraction, like, looks like shit, but doesn't matter. I'm going to extract this with a bit of the thickness, and then use the magic of dynamic topology. Actually, I think I need to trim this off. Okay, and then use the magic of dynamic topology to smooth this out. Let me clear this first. Smooth this out. Use inflate brush to like even out the weird lumpiness, and then use like a low percentage dynamic topology to even this out. Then now I'm going to push it in to the place where the roots of the eyelashes originate from, which would be like, if this is your eyelid. Okay, let me point. If this is the eyelid and I rotate outwards, or if you look at the mirror and look at your eyes, this edge is where the roots of the eyelashes are coming out from. So I'm not good enough to sculpt eyelashes together with the face. I've tried that multiple times and it just never worked out. It never works out for me. So I think like it doesn't matter if it goes in more, because the bigger the mesh, the easier it is to manipulate it, and it wouldn't disappear when you smooth it out. So I do try to make it a little bit bigger than it should, because this is just I haven't worked with a closed eyelid before. So this is like all new to me. So a little bit of mesh this way. And then I'm going to start using the drag tool with maybe like a higher percentage, because this is going to be really tiny. Let me use this and then I'll look at, like, I guess it's a bit hard because his eye socket is pretty hollow. I mean pretty deep hollow. So I'm going to make sure that these are alright, and then pull out like this. So the direction of where I pull out is pretty important. I want to try and pull out like a fan. So this one goes out that way, this one goes out this way. Maybe I should pull out that way. So maybe I'll start from this and use a small brush so that the ends here is small. If you use a big brush, it doesn't look like an eyelash anymore. I am not good enough to do like overlapping eyelashes, whatnot. But I found that just having one layer of eyelash is it's actually pretty good. Like I don't really need to have more. So the general rule will be like try to make it a bit uneven, unless you're going for like a I feel like it should rotate. Unless you're going for like a celebrity, like those Korean celebrity idol lashes, where like they have these individual strands, and the strands are very evenly spaced. Like that can be a very nice look too. And if you're not familiar with it, the way that they make the distinct clumps for celebrity eyelashes is to use like a tweezer, and like normally there's like multiple hairs, right, strands, so they use a tweezer to like clump together multiple strands of hairs, and then they put mascara on it. So that's how they achieve that look. It's pretty cool. I really like makeup, so sometimes I watch like those kind of makeup tutorials and makeup. This one's a bit too. Yeah, makeup is so fun. I think makeup is like an art form of itself. So I think it doesn't really matter right now if it's too long. And this is like my, maybe it's like my third time doing eyelashes. You can see like normally I don't do like enough face sculpt to like, yeah. So if it gets a bit too long, then maybe I will, I don't know, trim this and then smooth it out, or maybe not, maybe just have to be careful with the really thin ones. And with dynamic topology, because I'm using the screen distance to determine the size, so when I find like the mesh is disappearing and it's hard to manage, then I'll zoom in a bit to work on it. And then now that I'm pretty alright with, it's not the best, but then like I'll just get better with more practice. So I'm not going to dwell on this. Like this is just the third time, so just gonna be like kinder to myself and be like, you know, this is good for third time. Oh, what do I want to do? All right, so I'm gonna switch off dynamic topology now because I think I'm all right with the overall, and can see like why I prefer to have this separate, because it's so tiny. And if I'm like adjusting these strands like this, I mean, main thing is because I don't have a lot of practice with these. But let's say if these eyelashes are together with the face sculpt, and I'm doing these micro adjustments, it will affect all of this if I don't mask it out. So I find like like it was just too much trouble than it's worth for me. So that's pretty nice. And I guess for eyelashes and brow hairs, I think I tend to make them a bit less saturated and like maybe a bit do I make it a bit darker? I think because like I generally just prefer that kind of look. Like if you're familiar with makeup and all that, like you'll know that there's so many different colored brow pencils or mascaras, and it is like a choice whether or not you make the brows like brighter or darker, or the mascara like more brown or like more reddish or black. And in general, like a brighter like more gray. And let me focus on this first. Just patching up. In general, like a more grayish tone for eyebrows is more preferred. And like if it's lighter than the hair color, then it gives like a more youthful look. So that's just like more preferred for in terms of like doing a makeup for Asian faces, I guess. I'm not really sure whether it applies the same way for Angmo faces. So I'm going over with a very light touch with like a normal paintbrush just to even out a little bit the parts where like it's a bit too contrasty with the areas that I haven't really painted much to the areas with paint. And in general, because the skin is thinner on the eye area, so you see more colorations there. So I'm using a texture brush, and this brush is just the same thing, but then I set what's this? I just chose this because it looks pretty alright for what I need. So you can see like more bluish tones, and because of the blood vessels being very close to the surface over here. I'm not really sure about these areas. Like maybe I'll just do a tiny bit just to of like dark random colors just to give variations on the contour lines, or like a dark orange red like this. He doesn't really have that much reds. Let me bring this up. He doesn't really have like reddish tones in his like lips and cheeks. So I'm trying to do that. And then now I have to think about whether or not I want to do the same thing for this, or whether or not I guess I probably should, because it looks quite it looks better that he has some skin color. Okay, let me see. Yeah, and like I purposefully chose like a redder tone because I know that in the trailer and in the gameplay, the scene or the lighting that's on him too is like a little bit more to like this yellow green side. But the thing that I'm doing here, which I will actually, why is it so bright? Oh, it's because I bring this up. Okay. But like it, I don't want to do that for this because it's like I guess it's like a happier tone for my tutorial. So I prefer not to do that. But I think, let's say if you're sculpting Messmer and you're painting him, you probably need to go a bit more to like the green yellow tones. I think it just doesn't really match these guys right here. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not really sure whether or not I want to paint everyone. Because like I can also go like in between and do like just in between these two so that I don't really need to fix it up that much. Like maybe that might be a good thing. So maybe like that. Because having an orange tone to Messmer, it looks a bit too healthy on him too anyway. The other thing is I set the roughness for his skin tone to like 0.55 roughness. And I have an update on the other guys. And I think I do want to do that. So one of the things that I picked up for spending a lot of time painting is that there are these check boxes that you can undo like this. So this is the color checkbox. If I paint this right now, if I paint this, and then like this, if I paint it like that, then there'll be color added as well. But you can disable this, especially when there's like multiple colors on the same mesh. So let's say if I do metallic, then I can paint this and it will retain the colors, but it will just change everything to metallic. So that's a really useful thing that I've been using lately. So I'm going to make sure that I pick that, I drop that, and then I'm going to paint all this. I think it looks better. I think. And I think the feet are all instants. Is it? Oh no. Maybe not. So this can also be where doing instances can be useful. Because like let's say if these are all instants together, like the hands, arms, then I don't need to go through all of them to instance them. And I'm not going through the outliner to like look for their parts, because I think it's just a lot faster to select them on the screen and then instance them. So this one is done. I think this one left. Sometimes it's pretty therapeutic to do this too. It's like mindless. It's a mindless thing to do this. Okay, so that one's done. Oh, I want to fix this one. Like, it's not a final thing, but I was thinking it's kind of like better than nothing on his really plain blue skirt. So I'm just going to do this. So normally for tubes tool on an uneven surface, I will just do like, okay, so like something like this is really off, so I'm going to remove these points first. I have magnets snapping onto, and then I'm going to bring it over to the other side like this. Bring it to the other side, and then I just add more points. And the places where the mesh is still underneath like that, you can just add more points, because the mesh is really uneven. I'm not going to show the back view, so I can just end it there. So put this point here, put this point here, and try to use as little points as you can. It's just a lot easier to control it later on. I think it's a little bit too straight right now, so I'll just wave it a little bit to give it, like, just make it follow the cloth a little bit better, like this. And then this one, I guess I'll just try to, like, I don't know, make it sharper. Just a really fast way to do whatever I need to do. And then is there anything else? Man, why does this look so bad? Because I haven't really worked on this. I just leave it. And then there's another Messmer somewhere, but let me work on this first. I think he can go even paler. So there's this operations tab that you can use to do like it's like the HSV. Oh yeah, HSV sliders. So it's very useful for things like this, where you want the overall. I'm not sure whether you can do isolated things. Okay, now I want more color. I'm not sure whether you can do isolated things. Adjustments, I mean. But I haven't had the need for it, so not sure whether I want to. Maybe I want to just smooth out the lines a bit. I can't. I guess that's alright then. Okay, I want to subdivide this, and then I'll eyedrop this, paint this, eyedrop this, paint this. Okay. And then let's fix this a bit before I work on the other eyelash. Actually no, I should, because there might be instances. I think that's alright. I'm not gonna bother with these, I guess. Like, doesn't really matter. Let's work on the other eyelash before I forget. Actually I can just duplicate this. There's something else that I always like to do when I've done something on one side. It would be to, so like, I know for sure that the symmetry for the head is good, as in where the points are, the pivot point is. So I'll add a mirror with on gizmo, like that. And then, where is this one? I'll mirror this. I'll delete the other one because I'm using this anyway. And then I will validate it and uninstance this because this is going to be a bit different. I guess it can be the same. No, it can't be the same because one eye is open. So the curvature is different. So I just try to match as best as I can. Maybe I just make it bigger, like just cheat a little bit. And then without dynamic topology on, because I want to like adjust the entire mesh without it like disappearing and all that stuff. Then using a big brush, I'll adjust it to one axis and then like what I usually do, and then do the other axis like that. So it makes me think that maybe it's just better to do it. You know what? I think I'm going to scrap the idea. I'm going to, oh, let me just add this first. I'm going to just restart from scratch because it's not working out as usual. So I'm going to, I mean, I can kind of, I guess I can kind of salvage this. But like, is it worth, maybe it's not worth the time though. So I'm going to, normally with like what I do, because I sculpt more like freehand, like on the fly. When something's not working out, instead of like making new ones, I just trim like this and then dynamic topology again. But normally with like a default percentage, just to smooth this out, then it's kind of like almost immediately starting from scratch again. So this is generally how I work with sculpting. And then try to like fit it on the eye as best as I can. It's always good to do the basic shapes right before you add the details, because if the basic shape is not correct and then you try to fix it after all the details are there, like it's quite hellish to fix whatever you need to fix. So try to spend an appropriate amount of time to do what you need to do with like making sure, like don't spend too much time, but at the same time like don't skip on trying to do the base well. So I think that's like good enough for me. I'm not sure whether I want this to just cover the ridge a little bit more. And I'm going to look at this. Not sure whether, I guess it doesn't matter. So this is alright. Maybe I just make this part thicker. This one's actually too thick. Like this, and then use a small brush so that the roots of the hair is relatively small, and then do like a two-step process. Because sometimes it's a small, this is not the like a stake hook tool in ZBrush, but it's very good. So with a small brush, normally if you stick out like that, it can kind of just end over here, but you can just go over it again and just pull out like even further like that. But I don't want it too long, I just want it. Well, now that this is the second time I'm doing it today, it feels a lot easier. Like I think practice really does help a lot. Try to, with the eyelashes, I find that I should try to like make sure that each strand is done pretty well at the start, because like once everything is built up, it can get a little bit hard to like adjust. It'll be harder to adjust than like right now when there's like more empty spaces around. Like this, it's just a lot easier. And I'm going to see, I can't really like do the overlapping eyelashes because like it does affect the, actually that one doesn't look too bad. Maybe I'll just keep that. But I think the base is getting thick, so it's also helpful to rotate when you need to when you need to if let's say like you want it to go upwards, it's way easier to do like an upward turn on the side view rather than from the front view. But let's say right now I want to squeeze in this tiny eyelash here, then I'll start from here and then I'm going to rotate this up from the other camera angle. Actually, I'm quite surprised that, like, because I have a few nephews and nieces, I'm quite surprised that, like, they don't really rotate their paper when they're drawing. Like, I don't know whether that's the, like, there's this, I get this sense from them that they need to do everything perfectly. And, like, there's kind of like this weird sense of like they feel already at like ages ranging from like 4, 5, 6 that they feel like they suck at doing art. I find it's like weird, but at the same time it is like quite expected in like the way that people are brought up in Singapore, which is quite sad. But anyway, I feel like there's like this there's this feeling of like rotating the paper is also kind of like a weakness. But so like every time I see them, if they are drawing, which they don't really do that much anymore, which makes sense, like they have to do a lot of CCAs, they have to do a lot of sports, because Asian kids. And like art is really not important in Singapore. Art is important for character building, but not for yeah, I'm just the outlier here in among my relatives and my family. I guess I'm just like stupidly trying to do something that I love so much at the cost of like my sanity. But yeah, so like I always tell them to like just turn things around, like turn the paper, turn the canvas when you're drawing a certain line in a different direction. Like there's really no right like you're not stupid or like less of an artist when you do that. Like I've seen a lot of like pro artists, like they never really turn their canvas around when they do stuff. And like this is also kind of like I have many reasons why I feel like I'm not good enough. And like stupidly, that's also one of the reasons why I feel like I'm not good enough as an artist, is that I rotate around a lot. But yeah, just accept what you need to do to get better. So if you try to perfect every single step of the way, which I kind of did in the past few years, the end result is that you're just not going to do anything. And I find that I've been doing way more things. Like I've been making way more art now that I'm not trying to optimize everything. Hello, Soulless Composer. Thank you for tuning in. Now I feel good enough. Yeah. I'll give you like a fist bump support. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, like doing eyelashes separately like this has helped me so much in what's that, like wanting to attempt to do it, because when I was just doing eyelashes, sculpting it out from the just from the face, it was just so hard that I just never, like I'll just give up and then I just never do it. And like the important thing with doing art is that you have to have the hours of practice to do stuff. Okay, so like now I feel like there can be more details on this one, so I'm going to do that. This is a bit hard when there's like so many. Try to mix up like short strands and long strands, and then that will immediately make it a lot more detailed. and then zoom in if it's getting too hard to work on. Yes, you're right. Just do it no matter what. So you can see like how different camera angles really affects how the drag tool comes out. And why is it? Actually, I need this to be higher. Like that. So I think I just put a few more. And like, especially with thinner meshes, it's a lot easier to and I find this especially true with if you don't have an Apple Pencil Pro and you can't twist things with the drag tool. So right now I'm using the twisting motion to turn this around, which makes my life a lot easier. But if you don't have that, then it's really important to, like, from the get-go, like this, that you're making sure that everything is already rotated properly. Like, you don't want to like just stay stuck at like one viewport and then you rotate around and it's like, oh, it's really straight in the oh my god, in the other side. I think this one is not really working out. Elden Ring is your favorite game. Yeah. I like Dark Souls, and I think, yeah, I wouldn't say Elden Ring is like my favorite because I just like everything as a whole, Dark Souls and Elden Ring. But it is like, I don't really have that much time to play. I've only played Dark Souls and Elden Ring. But yeah, Elden Ring is so awesome. I really like Messmer. From the moment I saw him on screen in the trailer, I was like, I knew that I need to sculpt Messmer. So yeah, I'm also really psyched that I got to finish a Elden Ring sculpt and a Messmer one at that. I like Bishonens. Okay, I think that's pretty alright. Maybe I'll add 2 more. Just because the spacing looks a little bit. I haven't, oh my god, I haven't finished DLC, Elden Ring DLC. But like the main thing I wanted to, I think it's because I played DLC to like try and look for Messmer after I finished my sculpt. And like, I didn't expect to encounter Messmer so early because I think the storeroom is one of the, it wasn't the first areas that I went to, but then I went to the storeroom maybe like 1/3 of the way, and I didn't expect to see Messmer up there. Like totally unexpected. And then after I encountered Messmer, and it's like his fight is so good. He looks so cool. The snakes are so cute. Yeah, like after that I feel like I haven't, maybe because I've been trying to like get more sculpts done and trying to get the YouTube tutorials out. I haven't really been back at it that much. The last time I played, I just finished exploring what was it? Is it Dragon Peak? Yeah. Okay, so eyelashes are done. And then the skin tone is not too bad among everything else, so I'm going to match it up to this. But I'm not sure whether I want to do like a texture paint on this, so I'm just gonna get the average color and then paint this up. I think I can go a bit more white. I just wanted to match like the overall, the average of this. I think this is good. I think this one is instant, so it's good. Maybe the torso can be a bit darker just because it's in the shadow. And I guess I can just do like a rough darker color in the shadow areas, like this. I'm not sure whether is this instance. Okay, it's not instance. So I guess I can just fix this out because it looks a bit bad. So I'm going to what's that? Voxel merge this like that, and now they're one piece, and I can work on just like doing a little bit more detail on this. Just manage whatever I can with the little that I know. Dark Souls is very close second. I really like how Dark Souls 2 feels like a high school not high school, like a uni project, like an art school project, where like there's so many random shit happening in there. And the fashion souls in Dark Souls 2 is pretty dope. I really like Dark Souls 2. I think in terms of the map and the overall design of what's this? I'm trying to think. Yeah, like overall map, Dark Souls 1 is still the best. I feel like with Dark Souls 1 there's so many moments where like when we enter a new area or like go back to especially like going back to Firelink Shrine from a random place, it feels like the best feeling. And the song hits so hard. Yeah, oh, you also accidentally stumbled into Messmer's boss room. Yeah, I still don't really I still don't know the lore behind Messmer and like why he's up there and all that stuff, because I haven't finished DLC and I didn't want spoilers. But I don't know, like with the rate that I'm going, maybe I need to just like give up on like trying to avoid spoilers and just go for it. I think when it comes to like faking muscles and stuff, I like to use the crease tool and like a large crease tool and like draw like a super dramatic what's that, crease, and then just smooth that out, and instantly that gives like some muscle definition. But I'm not going to spend too much time because I don't know anatomy. Oh yeah, I really like the Messmer. I like the Messmer cinematic too. But like when the snake became huge, like second stage, I was also like, oh shit, it's so huge. But like when that happened, it reminded me of who's the guy? The guy who is eaten by the snake. Is it Rykard? I was like, oh, this that Rykard boss fight again. Oh, but I really like the boss fight. I mean, why is this so weird? Oh, why are you doing this? I don't really know why this one's doing this. I guess I'll just move it in. Okay. Yeah, I really hope that we can get Dark Souls 1 map again. Here, that was something that I felt was a little bit, which might be the reason why I haven't finished Elden Ring. Why is it so warped? Might be the reason why I haven't finished Elden Ring DLC. Is that like I know that it was intentional to do open world with, and the map being like a circle and every single spot is like a place where you can walk on. But like to me it feels a little bit like there's too much dead space, like too much empty space, that like I enjoy walking around Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, but if the Elden Ring DLC, and like the funny thing is that like I will play Elden Ring like once every few months, I guess, when I'm like, oh, I should force myself to take a break from all these things and like play and not lose my mind. But like when I come back to Elden Ring and like I don't remember like where I am, but then I'll walk around and feel to my, like I'll just think to myself like, this place feels a little bit empty. And then sure enough, I will be in the shadows of the Earth Tree DLC map. So that's the feeling that I get with the DLC. Okay, so I think this one is done. I'm going to duplicate his face over to the other guy, and then I think that's about it for today's stream. Let me grab him. Where is... Okay, so this is... And I should rename this. I don't need the group. I just need eyelash. Right. Eyelash left. Eyelash. Hit right left. Yeah, you're right. Like faces have, I think faces have like the this is, why is it so low poly? Like even with the lips, it's like the way that it turns, like the planes of the lip, the way that it turns, like the side view. Yeah, just like little bits, or even the nose, like having the nose like more like that already changes the look of the person. It can be really frustrating sometimes, but then I guess it just makes it even more rewarding when I can make a bishonen. Let me see. I guess I'll just duplicate this whole thing. And then take this out. But I'm very insecure with hit sculpts. So like last time I can see this was how Messmer looked like before. Of course, like that part of it was that I didn't want to play DLC until I finished my Messmer sculpt. So I only had the Elden Ring DLC trailer, the first one and the second one. Oh, the story cinematic. Messmer looks so different. It was just really hard. I think in the first trailer, Messmer only had like the front view, and that was really hard too. So now that I fought Messmer and I've really seen everything for him, I think, then it's just a lot easier to like use the different angles to fix up the mesh. Well, let me move this first. Let me move you here. Oh my god, I haven't been to the finger ruins. I want to get there. Maybe I should go back to Elden Ring this week and just like run for the finger runes. Okay, let me put this. I guess I can just try to match. Or should I just... Let me see, where are you? Is it this one? And yes, I can't I can't conquer Messmer in game till I modeled him in Nomad Sculpt. Like, that's really true. And it was the most satisfying feeling when I finished my Messmer sculpt, and then well, I don't mind you saying anything else regarding Elden Ring DLC. I mean, like, it's already been too long, right? It's already been too long. I like at this point it's like at this point if I get annoyed at all these stuff, then like it's kind of like what's that? Like, if I don't spoil myself, then I should just hide from everything. So it's all good. Okay, let me try and copy this. Why does this have a scale? Okay, let me just try to copy this over. I don't really know how to copy like the whole thing. So I've just been doing this like super slow way of things. Right, the interesting thing was like I wasn't really expecting much when I went into the game and trying to find Messmer. Is it wrong? But like when I finished the sculpt and then I found Messmer and then fought him, and yeah, like when I was doing his boss fight, it felt really amazing because I'm like, holy shit, I sculpted you. And then like dodging around and like looking at his like body proportions, looking at his realizing that there is an emblem on his cape, the back of his cape, but I wouldn't have known because the trailer doesn't show the back of his cape, I think. Oh wait, I guess the story trailer should have shown. Never mind. Okay, I think this might match up now. As you can see, this was him when I sculpted him last time, and like yeah, at this time my sculpting skills wasn't really as good. Like, I'm always improving, so I guess it is like a very nice feeling when I look at old stuff and be like, oh, it's a lot shittier than the one now. Then finishing the sculpt is definitely way harder than beating a boss. I think that can be true in certain extent. And sometimes I wonder about that too, like is sculpting, yeah, I guess like it is easier than fighting the bosses. Actually, honestly, I'm not really sure whether or not I'll find. Maybe I might find playing Dark Souls and Elden Ring a lot harder than sculpting them. Is this the right rotation? Somehow I feel like it's not. Oops. One thing I like about DLC is the verticality. Yeah, I agree with you. Like that's really cool. I like Which area was it? I like exploring like the I forgot which area. Like I think it's like, let's say if this is the map. I guess this part here. And I like going up to the what was that place? The place like in like way up there, and it's all forest, grass, and greens. Can clearly tell that I haven't played enough to remember everything. But like getting to those places were pretty cool. And also like just like finding my way, because like at the beginning there's like the near the place where you start, I guess, then you can see the bridge to the other settlement. No, not settlement, like the army camp. And like when I look down at the valley, I guess, and it's like a huge drop, and I'd be thinking to myself like, I'm sure that I will be able to get there. I just don't know how yet. And when like I managed to get down there, it's like, oh, this is really nice. Like now finally I can find a way to get down over there. Sculpting is much harder than gaming. That's true. Oh yes, ancient runes. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to delete him now. Thank you for existing. Just making sure that. See, like one something that I did wrong is that I made his nose too long, and I can see the lips are. Whereas like in like these shots, I realized that his nose is like halfway between, and then his mouth is halfway between this. So that was like the first major correction that I did for him. And also because I'm Asian, so I don't really have and I tend to like flat face monolith sculpts for my goals. So I'm really not used to having like this deep eye ridge, like brow ridge. So it wasn't something that I was used to doing. But I'm learning a little bit every day on how to do like more like various styles, and trying to build up my experience with various things. Let me see what the other color was. And Solas Composer, like, it's cool talking to someone who feels the same way for Dark Souls games. Yeah, I feel like to get down there, it took a really long time. I was feeling very lost. And I guess that part of the map in the middle, because like I haven't had that much. Oh my god, why is the pencil already 20%? But like because that area has so many levels, I feel like there's so many times when like, because I play with my boyfriend, I can't play solo. I feel like the game is too hard. I find sculpting way easier than playing Dark Souls solo. But yeah, like we'll be thinking like, okay, let's hit to, like, let's say these are like the spots of the map. You'd be like, okay, let's hit to this spot right here. And then we'll be like trying to get there. And then somehow we get like taken somewhere else. And then we end up here. And that's like the, I feel like the, 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 that was exactly what happened when we get to, wait, is it the Abyssal Woods? Oh, actually, speaking of the Abyssal Woods, I feel like that was a bit disappointing when like you see the messages on the floor, and it says like, "Do not make a sound," and then we're like, "Well, what's this creepy shit happening here?" But then it just turned out to be, yeah, like I feel like the message like "turn back now" was a bit overhyping for me. Oh, and like Abyssal Woods, like the boss fight before, I guess if I remember right, is you have to get in one of the, I guess the caves of the temple caves of the DLC map, and then you fight the boss down there, and then you open the door and it opens up to the woods, like this super open air woods. Like I think that's one of the best. That's like one of the best times. One of the best experience for me for DLC. I think like it's like top 10 or like even top 5. I really like that one. Yeah, I was hoping for like some creepy thing. But instead it's like just some dude which like yeah, it just, man, yeah, I'm not sure, like I feel like if they didn't put the message of like, oh, don't turn back now, I mean turn back now, like it's like you're not welcome here, or like it's dangerous. If they didn't put that, I think, like to me personally, I think it would be better. I think just because it really hyped me up for like even what you said of like the creepy spider in the trees. I feel like I feel like that would match whatever they're trying to do even better, I think. Okay, let me not sidetrack. So it's fun to talk about Dark Souls stuff. I drop this and do the same thing, paint these up so that he doesn't look too sick. Wait, what's this? Oh, okay. This one is a bit wrong, I guess. I just have to make sure that this is not instance and it's not. Oops, this one left this. Oh yeah, getting to Anolondo. That was, yeah, that's like one of the peak. I really like this brain. What's this? I mean, I don't know whether I can like even draw them properly. I'm just going to like do like some stupid drawing. The one with the brains, and then they're like the one that teleports you to Anolondo. I really like the design. I wish that there was more of that. Like after finishing DS1, I was thinking like, why is it that only them and Sif like looks like that? Like me, I guess there's like some law stuff, but in terms of like the overall game, I wish that there's more Yeah, I wish that there's more of them. That kind of style across. Yeah. Green drakes, yes. Is this too yellow now? You know what? I think right now it's too. No, actually, it's fine. Because when I'm in the lit PBR mode, it's alright. Not sure whether I want it. No, I guess it's a bit. It is a bit too yellow right now. Okay, let me just. I think this is a bit better. And it doesn't. Maybe this one has to be. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like even a very slight hue change really affects the overall color. Is this one the same? I think this one is darker. Okay. Let me get the other side by hiding him. And I guess this can be darker too. I don't, okay, maybe not that dark. I mean, sometimes that's like the logic that there's some like color bleed from the objects around it. Okay, then I'll take this a bit to blend it in a bit more. I think that's not too bad. Yeah, I feel like places like Abyssal Woods with their winter lanterns, I guess they're the winter lanterns, as you say, they were pretty like creepy at the beginning, but after the 10th time they do run around to like try and explore the map, like it just became so annoying. I know that they're trying to do something new, but yeah. But I guess it's kind of like sculpting. Like you just have to try, and if it doesn't work out, then it just doesn't. It just wouldn't make it to the next sculpt. And if it works out, then it's like it's a new technique that can be used. But then also, I personally find like as an artist that making mistakes is one of the ways that it's one of the ways that I learn pretty well. Yeah, I learn really well through mistakes. Like way better than like trying to follow something very optimized and then like I don't really like fully get it after that. And then I don't really remember it in like the next 3 years. Whereas if I make a mistake, then I'll be like, oh my god, it's so stupid, like it's so painful. And then I'll just remember that I made that stupid mistake like 5 years ago. Anyway. Yeah, I hope that people can still have like, I feel like especially in Singapore, like there's this feeling where, like at least to me personally, that making mistakes is like, if you make a mistake, then you're bad or you're like not good enough. I'm not sure whether I want them to be like this color or this color, but like I do spend quite a lot of time trying to like teach myself that making mistakes is fine. Maybe I'll change. Yep, I think I'll change it to this color. Time to go around and do this again. But I'm not going to like paint them in the actually, not that everything is this color now. Do I like it more? You know what, I'm not really sure. Maybe I don't, but I think I'll just undo this. I think it's alright. Okay. And then the final thing would be making the lighting. Let's see how they look like on screen right now. I need to hide this. So I think in terms of this one, I guess I can go darker like this. And let me hide this too, because this will be used for the tutorial. Not really sure whether I want to use the background. I guess. Okay, let's go. I'm like looking at my OBS screen while I'm doing this. Okay. This is a lot greener on when I'm looking at the iPad in person right now. And before I forget, I think this one's supposed to be a brighter red. But I'll just do it based on like what looks good. So I'm like looking at all this. And it should be like a little tiny bit more orange than magenta. Maybe like this. I guess it's fine. Okay, so that's done. Oh, you're looking at the comments now. Yeah, you're all human. I think like through experimenting too is that when we can like learn our dislikes and our likes, and also like I find that through like trial and error that I learn how to see things better. Like you could see that my first Messmer face sculpt is pretty bad. But at that time when I was doing it for the first time, I was thinking like, because I think Messmer is the first dude face that I've sculpted. And then I was just like, oh, it doesn't look too bad. Like it looks pretty nice at that time. And then now when I look at it, 10%, serious. I feel like this dies too fast. I wish that there's a way to like just, I don't know, like disable the vibration or something. I feel like maybe that drains the battery too, but I can't. I can't like disable specific stuff. Thanks for liking this color tone. Alright, where was I? I was trying to see, like, so right now, Messmer's face is quite dark, and this is the, where are you? This is the, this one. So like, it's pretty bright here. I love them so much. I love this season of JoJo. I feel like it's one of the funniest. I'm very quite sad that after this season ended that they stopped doing his character the way, his dialogue the way that they did for this season. Like just the way that he or like the other characters is like, I'm gonna tell you what and this is what you're gonna say next, and then they start saying the exact same thing. Like that's really amazing. And I love them so much. But anyway, this one is pretty bright here. I feel like one of the issues with this pose is that his face is really covered by his helmet. So I'm not sure whether I'm just gonna cheat on this and this just like final fixes before I end the stream. Yeah, I don't know. Cause I think him looking straight on is better. But maybe a bit higher. His helmet's really big. Or maybe move his helmet back a bit. I guess it's alright. How is there so much light on his face when like his hair, his fringe is blocking so much? Actually, is this helmet supposed to be this? Yeah, I guess I'll just leave it alone then. And the problem with Nomad Sculpt is that you can only have a maximum of 4 lights. So maybe I'll just... Oh my god, so laggy. Let me hide these guys first. So maybe I'll just move them behind. No. rotate them. You know, it's not too bad rotating them. But I'm going to add a group, and this group would be, actually I want to create I'm gonna use this group to just do the extra rotation. So if I don't want it, then I can, if I don't want it, then I can just like reset it easily. So that looks pretty alright. Then this one, I think they're, right now the slime balls are like covering too much of them. So let me see the reference. It's covering too much. So I'm not sure whether I want to move them. This pen has the controller DualSense. You know, if I knew that the battery life of the pen is going to go down so much, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's not really that worth it. Like, I value battery life over whatever gimmick that they have. Okay, let me see. And yes, there's a lot of slime balls because they're so cute. They need to be everywhere. I'm not sure whether putting them here is nicer. Let's just try this. It's not bad. So this is too bright. The lights are 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. And I don't want to move them around because they are the main lights for which one? For the slime balls. So I think that's not too bad. So I'll put it here. And then I'll just like hide them and stuff when I want to show them. Each of them, let me see. Where these are the main guys for the lighting. And I really like the lighting for this. So I don't want to move the lights around. Just moving the mesh around. Oh, hello Sculptura. Thanks for tuning in again. I'm about to go though. But thank you for joining me before I go. Hey, it's so amazing. I'll just put this here. Oh wait, I forgot to do this. Let me quickly do this. Same thing. I snap magnet on. And then this one I kind of have to go further to the back. Just so that it's not exposed, that it ends really rock. You know, I guess it has to go further down. in the same thing, like just don't use too much points, but here I'll add one more point here. And then add one more point here. And same thing for this one. I'm tapping the individual points because I have snapping on. So when I move them around, it's going to snap on the mesh again. Just in case they're like at a different level. I think that's... actually, this one's a bit weird. So I'm going to... I just find like it's a little bit better to have them on this really big blue area. I'm not really that happy with them, but like I also don't want to spend too much time on this. That's what I always say, but then I end up spending a lot of time on this. Okay. This one is not. So thank you for tuning in, and I have just wanted to shout out how many? 350 subscribers. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for joining my streams whenever you can and talk about Nomad Sculpt, Dark Souls stuff. Yeah, like my huge passions for a long time and even now, so it's always fun to distract myself from doing things that I need to finish. I mean, just kidding, but I think, yeah, it gives me like sometimes the stream questions or interactions does give me a lot of ideas on how I should structure my tutorials and all that, or like what details I missed out in my tutorials, whether or not it's from the stream or from the chat, or whether or not it's a problem that I encountered during my sculpting sessions. So yeah, I'm really grateful that even though I can't contribute like really YouTube-y stuff, that there are people out there who appreciate my stuff. So thank you so much, and I'm gonna end it here. Yes, thank you for your great vibes too. I'm gonna end it here. I hope that you like this, and like this is me after every stream. I'm gonna go have dinner and go for a run, and then hopefully start recording my long overdue YouTube tutorial. Oh my god, I'm procrastinating. Okay, thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next